Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. My name is Nicole and I'm a prospective student advisor here at Flinders University. Before we get too far into tonight's information, I would like to just take a moment to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians on the lands of which our campuses are located at Flinders University. Today I am on Kaurna country at our Bedford Park campus. So hopefully you've all joined us here because you're interested in coming to do extension studies with us next year. You will see a whole bunch of different information and hopefully I'll be able to answer all of the questions you might have as part of tonight's session. But you'll also see on your screen the option of submitting questions throughout the information session as well. So please do feel to pop in any questions you have in that. I've got a couple of colleagues here tonight who will be helping to answer those as we're progressing in the information session, and I'll also be addressing them as part of what I'm talking about tonight. If we don't get to your question during the session, do stay online at the end because we will have a few minutes towards the end as well to respond to you directly as well. So please pop in any questions you have along the way as we go. We want to make sure you're leaving this with all the full information that you need. So what is Extension Studies? Extension Studies is a unique opportunity for our higher achieving future Year 12 students to do something in addition to their schooling. This is not something for every student. This is something for people who tend to want to be a little bit more challenged, who might want to explore a topic that's not available at school, and who are looking more towards that independent learning options. Because it's university topics, you are a university student when you're doing extension studies. You'll still be doing your Year 12 subjects, but you'll be doing extension subjects alongside of that. So that means you'll have a school timetable as well as a university timetable. And part of this will be balancing those two timetables together. When you're studying the university topics with us, you will be doing it at university level. So this is for people who perhaps really enjoy writing essays, doing that more university essay writing and research style as well. The idea is that this will be a little bit more of a challenge than your standard Year 12 subjects would be. When you're studying as an extension studies student at Flinders, you are a Flinders University student. So whilst we know that you're an extension studies student, no one else in your class is going to know that. So you'll be treated just like any other university student. The subjects are delivered at a range of different locations. So we've got our Bedford Park campus, City campus or Tonsley, and we also offer a whole range online. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. As a university student, you'll be participating in lectures at uni. So they're the big, think American style movies where everyone's in a big room, looking at the person pacing up and down the front, listening to information. Or they may also be recorded and available online, like most of ours are. You'll also have other classes, things like workshops or tutorials. So they're going to be smaller group work times. They'll tend to only be maybe once a week for most of your subjects. If you're studying something within the sciences, you might have some laboratories as well. So where you're going in and doing various experiments actually in the classes. When you're being assessed at university, it's going to be based off the university assessments criteria. So this could be things like an exam or like assignments. It might be participation marks as part of the tutorials that you're going along to. It could also be the preparation work that you have to do for those tutorials. So there's a range of different things that could make up the different assessments. One of the really interesting pieces of feedback we get from students who are doing extension studies is some students find the assessments at university a bit easier to balance alongside of their schoolwork than other schoolwork subjects. And what I mean by that is, like, I think the average Year 12 English class might have sort of anything from 4 to 8 different assignments due across the year. An extension studies topic in English is probably only going to have maybe 2 or 3 due across the semester. So the load can be a little bit different. More weight is then put onto those assessments. So instead of, multiple assignments being worth 10% each, there might just be one assignment worth 40% or something. But sometimes you can find that a bit easier to balance alongside the rest of your studies. We do also have exams for a number of the different university subjects that are available in extension studies. You will be required to attend the exams. They are held generally at the university during our examination times. If you're worried about having a clash between a university exam and a SACE exam, that's okay. We can actually organise an alternate exam time for you. It will still be at the university, but if you do have any clashes like that, we will make sure we can work around your SACE exams, but just something to keep in mind. In terms of the campuses that are available to you, most of you are probably going to be familiar with Bedford Park. This is our main campus, the original Flinders University location. This is down south, just sort of closer to Marion. We also have Tonsley, which is 5 minutes down the road on Main South Road from the main campus. This is where a lot of our engineering, IT and computer science topics are based. And then we've got our exciting new city campus. So we do actually offer a range of different topics for Extension Study students based in the city campus. And you might find that some of your topics have multiple campus options, so you can choose to either study them at Bedford Park or at city campus in some examples. So this is where you get to find the one that's going to suit you the most. If you're perhaps in a school that's located within the city or find public transport easy to get to main campus at Bedford Park, you can pick which one's going to suit you the best. And of course, we offer a whole range of different topics online as well. And as Extension Studies students, you can also participate in them online, which is a really good option if you are a little bit more regional, or if perhaps the topic you really want to do is available online, and the on-campus option, the timetable just doesn't work with your school timetable. So online's a really good alternative as well. In terms of the subjects you can do, you'll see that there is a whole range of different ones. Some of these are going to be a bit similar to things that are offered at school. Some of them are going to be really, really different. I'm still yet to learn of a school that offers archaeology, but we certainly offer archaeology as an option for Extension Studies. Now, excitingly, as an Extension Studies student, the idea is that you do 2 university subjects over the course of your Year 12 year. When you're doing that, most students will then drop one of their 20 credit Year 12 subjects. So you free up some sort of extra study time within your school timetable. You need to do 2 topics in Extension Studies to meet that 20 credit Year 12 subject equivalent. However, the 2 areas at university do not have to be from the same study area. You could do 1 topic in archaeology and 1 topic in law. Combined, they'll still meet the equivalent of a 20 credit Year 12 subject, but it gives you a nice opportunity to explore different areas as well. Some students will choose to pick something that they're considering to do for university studies later on. All of the topics that are approved in Extension Studies tend to be our first year level university subjects. So if, for example, you want to come and do some business topics with us for extensions, and then later you come and decide to do a Bachelor of Business with us at Flinders, if you've completed business topics already from Extension Studies and they match up with the business topics available to you for your university studies, you don't have to repeat them. They've already been ticked off and done. So that's a really good benefit for you. When you're on our website, and you'll see the link on the screen there, so flinders.edu.au/extension, this has a full list of topics. What I've done though is I've just picked out a couple of key ones so we can sort of talk about what all of the information on the website here actually means. So one thing to be a bit mindful of is preclusions. So when you're choosing an Extension Studies topic, you need to make sure it's not precluded. Most of them aren't, but what that means is, for example, if you wanted to do Introduction to Coaching, Pedagogy and Practices with us at Flinders as an Extensions topic, you can't also be doing or have done Stage 2 Physical Education. The reason why is because they're pretty much the same in terms of the content, and the SACE board want you to have a sort of range of experiences. You would have had like preclusions within school as well, in terms of you can't do, 2 kinds of easy maths or something. So same deal between the Extension Studies and SACE subjects. So something to have a look at. You'll also see the campus locations. So this health and PE topic is available at Bedford Park and at the city campus. What that means is you get to pick which campus you'd like to do it at. When you're making that decision though, you're deciding for that full semester. So it's not chopping and changing week to week. It's deciding for the semester, I'm going to do health and PE topic at Flinders at the city campus, and you'll be sticking with that one for the semester. Some topics you might see have multiple options. So these ones all have several different semester options. NS1 and NS2. NS just means non-semester. The reason it's saying non-semester is because it's an online topic, and it means it's not going to follow the standard sort of semester timetable that we have for our normal semester topics. It might start slightly earlier, it might finish slightly earlier, or a little bit later or later as well. That's all that means. If we're looking at the computer programming topic, you'll see it's got semester 1 and semester 2. That doesn't mean that you're going to do computer programming 1 for semester 1 and semester 2. That means you're going to pick to do it in either Sem 1 or Sem 2. So you only do one of these topics once, you don't ever repeat them. You might choose to do computer programming 1 in semester 1 and then an alternate computer programming topic in semester 2. That's absolutely fine. Or as I said, you could pick a different one. So you could do computer programming 1 in Sem 1, and then for semester 2, maybe you're going to come and do the PE topic up here because we can see that that's available in semester 2. The other thing is when you're doing your extension studies application is you do want to make sure that your topics that you're electing to do are available in each of the semesters. So you must be doing one topic in semester 1 and one topic in semester 2. You can't be doing both of them in the semester 1 or both of them in the semester 2. We want to try and keep it spread out for you over that year. You'll also might find on some of them some specific campus location information. So this computer programming one saying it's at Bedford Park in the first semester only, and it's at the city campus both in either semester 1 or semester 2. So a couple of different options there for that one. You'll also see some of them have the online option. So this aging studies topic is available online, but the PE topic is not. The computer programming topic is available online, but only for the semester 2 option. So all of this is available to view on that website, and you can have a look through all the different topics. Excitingly, you can also click on the different links that are on here, and that will take you through to the full topic information page. And that will talk about the assessments that you have to do. It'll talk about the actual content of what you'll be learning in that topic as well. So that's a really good thing to have a bit of a look through, because sometimes the topic title doesn't necessarily give us all the information that we need. And again, guys, if you've got any questions, please pop them in that online chat. I think my colleague Emma's addressing some of them as we're speaking now, but if not, we'll make sure to get to you at the end as well. Now, in terms of some of the benefits with extension studies and the sort of supports that we can provide to you, really cool thing is extension studies topics are shorter than Year 12 subjects. So Year 12 will start end of January, and you'll have your 4 terms of that. University semester 1 doesn't actually start basically until right at the very end of February, beginning of March. And then a standard university semester topic will go until June. You might have an exam at the end of June. Then you're going to have July off from university studies. Right at the end of July, beginning of August, you'll come back for semester 2. And again, you'll have 13 to 14 weeks of semester. You'll be finishing up exams. I think the last week of exams is right now as we're speaking, so we're mid-November for university. It means you've got sort of less time to be spending on it, but it's a little bit more condensed for you, and the learning style is set up for that. It also means that you'll have less assignments generally due compared to your Year 12 subjects, so some students find that really beneficial. As a Flinders University student, you've got a range of different support services available to you for your extension studies. You've got topic-specific support, so that's your topic coordinator, so they're your teachers at the university, and they run different drop-in times that you can go to their office or make a time to speak with them individually to get that one-on-one study support. within the different colleges, so there are kind of study areas, we offer peer mentors as well for all of our first year students. And because you're a first year extension studies student, you also have access to that one as well. And that will be a student who's a couple of years ahead of you within that same degree or study area. And they give really good advice in terms of, you know, exam prep or how to go about researching different things, or, you know, the right people to ask, basically. Then the university provides general study support as well. So if you're unsure how to go about structuring an assignment, we have support for that. If you're unsure how to go about researching for an assignment, we have support for that. And we also have access to Studiosity. So you as a student are able to submit drafts to Studiosity, and basically an expert in that field will mark it and send it back to you within a very short time frame so that you're able to improve on your essays or assignments really quickly with really good advice. The library houses a whole range of these different support services too. And as an extension study student, you get access to the full library suite, which means you can also use it for all of your other Year 12 subjects. So anything that's available to you at the university as an extension student, you can use across the board for everything for Year 12 as well. So that can be really helpful. Now, grades is one that we get asked about all the time. So how this works, you have two subjects. So this is all based off like one topic each semester. University grades, these are the percentages. So a pass is anything from 50 to 64%. Credit is anything from 65 to 74, and so on. These convert to scores out of 10, remembering we do two subjects as an extension study student over the course of the year. So then the two topics added together is what gives us our 20 credit result. So if we get a high distinction and a distinction, that's going to equal 19.9 out of 20. Super exciting thing, this is set. Okay, so long as you're scoring anything in this, that's the result that you get for your ATAR results and for your final SACE grades. University extension studies topics are not scaled. Okay, so it's a true score. It's always going to be what you've achieved. Super exciting. If all you get through is a pass, you're getting a 7.9 for that topic. So that's pretty good. And again, as I said, no scaling, they are true scores. Now, it sounds like, oh, that's all well and good if I get a HD or a distinction, but you know, what if, isn't university really hard? University can be hard. It is, again, this is for higher achieving students that we recommend do extension studies, but we find that most of our students who do extension studies are scoring really, really well. So last year, over both of the semesters, over 72% of our extension study students achieved at least a distinction, if not a high distinction. So that's awesome result. So all of those students had that result contribute to their ATAR. And again, no scaling, so a really great option. We also have a special guaranteed entry pathway for students. So anyone who has successfully completed 2 university subjects with us at Flinders as part of extension studies will get guaranteed entry to a whole range of different courses, about 150 different degrees that this gives you entry to. This is something that we assess this time of the year sort of thing once you've done your SATAC application. A couple of other requirements, you do need to have completed SACE, as well as any other prerequisites for the courses. But this is a really great option. It's another opportunity to gain entry to university just based solely off you having achieved those results with us here already. Fees is probably the other question we get asked the most. So how the fees work with us is we will offer a half scholarship to support students undertaking extension studies with us at Flinders. The fees all vary by topics. I'll talk about that in a second. One of the reasons we offer a half scholarship, though, is so that we're not capped to a limited number of positions that we can make offers to for extension study students. So if you're really wanting to do extension studies and you've got everyone's approval, we'll talk about that in a second. But if you're really wanting to do it, there will be a position for you to be able to do it at Flinders University. In terms of accessing the actual fee information, it does vary based on the topic, which is why I don't have like a really long list of all the different fees available for you. Basically though, it's on that Extension Studies website that we mentioned earlier. You can click on the topic link, and again, this takes you through to the full topic information page. And then within this page, again, this is all the details about the course, about the topic. Clicking up here on the far right-hand side will take you through to the timetable information as well as the fees. This is where I suggest that people have a look so you can see all the different fees. This one, as an example, has a tuition fee of just over $1,100. This would be a half scholarship, so we then cover half of that cost. So as an Extension Studies student, the price that you would be charged for that would be $559. Same sort of thing for all of our other subjects. Now, to apply. Like I said, we don't have a capped number of positions available for Extension Studies. If you want to do Extension Studies, if your school supports you doing Extension Studies, and if your family or caregivers support you doing Extension Studies, you can come and do Extension Studies. We will have a new online application very soon, hopefully in the next week or so it will be going live. It will be on that website just under the how to apply section. It's currently being updated, which is why I can't show you it just yet. Not going to be complicated. There'll be spots for everyone to fill in their little bits as to approving that they support you doing Extension Studies. And you write a little bit about why you're wanting to do it, and you need to choose the subjects that you'd like to do as well. Having said that, do you recommend you put in a bit of time thinking about the subjects that you'd like to do, but also have a look at the timetable and make sure that the timetable at university is going to work for you with school. We don't want you doing Extension Studies if that means you're missing every single maths lesson and you really wanted to do maths at school. This is meant to be a bonus for you, so something good to do. We don't want it to be a stressful experience. So if you're finding it too hard with the timetable to, if you want to go to the in-person class and that's not available, do the online option. Or think about doing a different topic that's got still something of interest to you, but the timetable is going to work better for you. As I said, most students who do Extension Studies will drop one of the 20 credit Year 12 subjects, which generally means you have an additional study line at school. So sometimes that means that you might end up with a whole afternoon of study lines for school, which will give you time to come to university. So have a think about the timetable there. We do need you to have the 2 topics selected for Extension Studies when you apply. However, you can change your mind. I had a student a few years ago who had picked 2 awful chemistry topics for semester 1 and semester 2, chemistry for both of them. He did chemistry for semester 1, and then he decided he wanted something a little bit different for semester 2. It was fine. He contacted us and we were able to pop him into a different option. I think he ended up doing business or something for semester 2. So think about it, have a bit of a plan, make sure it's going to work with your timetable, but you're not locked into it as well. And the other thing is, as I said before, school goes back end of January, university doesn't start till end of February, so there is time to make those changes as well. We do suggest though that you apply and have everything submitted for Extension Studies before the Christmas break, just because we know schools tend to have a few weeks of closure, and if we need any details from your teacher, if you're waiting on anything from them for their school timetabling, gives you a bit of time to have that all sorted out as well. I'm going to step off the screen now and we'll have a look. I know we've had a range of different questions come through. You've still got a couple of minutes to submit any questions that you do have about Extension Studies, about the program. If I've missed covering anything, please let me know. I'll just step off the screen. We'll keep the webinar going though, so that if you have any more questions coming through, we'll be able to answer those ones as well. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I really hope if you do decide to come and do Extension Studies, that this is a great opportunity for you. And if you do decide, we really look forward to seeing you on campus for next year and hopefully again in the future. Thank you. Hi everyone, so just jumping back on, we have had a question come through about if university subjects preclude, if studying extension studies preclude you from any university prerequisite applications. So really commonly we have this question about students who are looking to do medicine. And at Flinders we have the Bachelor of Science, the Bachelor of Clinical Sciences combined Doctor of Medicine program. And one of the entry criteria for that one is that you cannot have a university study record. However, extension studies is an exception to that rule with us. So you're all fine if you're looking to apply for medicine with us on that side. Someone did ask specifically about overseas universities. I can't comment for overseas universities because the entry criteria can be a little bit different, but certainly for here, that's absolutely fine. We've had another question about accessing the timetable. So if you are on the Extension Studies webpage, the big long list of all of the different topics, on the left-hand side, the topic codes all have little hyperlinks. So if you click on that one for the topic that you're interested in, it will then take you to that topic's information page. And then just up over on the top right-hand side is a button that links you through to the timetable information. It's also the same page that the fees were located on that we were looking at just before too. Great questions come through about the guaranteed entry options as well, and I just wanted to make a point of answering that because I think it's such a good option for students who have done extension studies, having that sort of additional ability to gain access to entry to courses with us. The topics that you completed through extension studies do not have to be related to the course that you're looking to do at Flinders. Of course, if they are related and the topics match up, you will receive topic credit and not have to do those topics again, but no, they're not required to be from the same study area for the entry. Hi everyone, we had a question about campus access for students. If you are an online student, you have full access still to all of the physical on-campus supports, and vice versa. If you are a Bedford Park enrolled student but wish to go and do some study time in the city campus, you can absolutely do so. Same for Tonsley, Bedford Park, all of the same options, same as an online student. You are a full university student still, so you get access to all of those different facilities. Hi everyone, thanks so much for staying online while we addressed everybody's questions, and thanks for joining us tonight. Hopefully you've got all the answers you need. If you do think of anything else later, because your webinar will be ending in a moment, please send us an email. It's extension.studies@flinders.edu.au. You can also find it on the Extension Studies webpage, and we will be able to let you know in the coming days as well. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, everybody. We look forward to hopefully seeing you on campus next year or in the future.